Hi kids, it's time for art class. My name is Miss Roz and I'll be your PACE teaching artist today. Today's video will be about drawing a rainbow jellyfish. Do you know where jellyfish live? That's right, in the ocean. We will talk about parts of the jellyfish called their tentacles and learn some about their life in the ocean. We will review lines that we have learned about this year. We will practice our cutting skills. We will be mixing colors today to make new colors by using primary colors to make secondary colors and make our own color wheels. The supplies you will need are 2 sheets of white paper. If you happen to have this legal size that is a little longer, that will make a longer jellyfish. But if not, a regular white sheet of paper is fine. You will need your crayons, a black crayon or a black marker. Optional supplies today are a little watercolor set like this. You can share it even one in a group if you'd like to paint the color wheel along with me. But if you don't have a watercolor set, you can just watch me paint on the video, or you can use your crayons to make a color wheel. Watercolor set, you'll need a brush and a little cup of water. Let's look at some pictures of jellyfish in the ocean. There's no such thing as a rainbow jellyfish, but there are some that are very colorful. Jellyfish are made up of mostly all water. Some do not even weigh an ounce, but some could be 450 pounds. They are found in oceans all over the world. They have jelly-like bodies, and they are among the oldest animals on Earth, dated back to the year 600. They come in many colors, including yellow, blue, orange, and brown. And look at those tentacles coming out of their bell-shaped body. Some are very dangerous because they can sting you with their long tentacles. Some jellyfish have over 15 tentacles that come from each corner of their bell-shaped bodies, and they could be 10 feet in length. Jellyfish use their tentacles to protect itself and to kill prey. I've been stung by one at the beach, and it hurts very bad for a few minutes. Did you know that jellyfish could really have 24 eyes? So they can see all the way around their bodies? Most jellyfish eat eggs, plankton, and fish larvae, but turtles and fish like to eat jellyfish. Scientists underwater in their scuba gear study all the animals under the ocean. I think that would be a fascinating job, don't you? This is a cool painting of a jellyfish made by an artist that is inspiring our lesson today. Also, along with an idea by the artist Laura Angel. What if jellyfish were all rainbow jellyfish? Wouldn't that be beautiful? Looking at all those animals underneath the sea with rainbow colors? A rainbow is made of all the colors in the color wheel. Can you name the colors in order? Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. A good way to remember the rainbow colors is a man's name, Roy G. Biv. All those letters start with the first letter of those colors. Now, red, yellow, and blue are called the primary colors. And orange, yellow, and purple are the secondary colors. So what are the primary colors again? That's right, yellow, red, and blue. Those are the most important colors in art. Let's take out our first sheet of paper so we can make a color wheel. If you have a paint set, take it out as well with your brush and your water. If you don't have it, we're going to try to make one with our crayons. And the only crayons you will need are yellow, red, and blue. Do you know why those are the only three colors we're going to be using to make the color wheel? That's right, they're primary colors. Everyone say primary. Yes, primary means first and important, and we're going to use those colors to make the secondary colors. The only colors in our paint set that we're going to use are those primary colors. We're going to use the yellow a lot, we're going to use the red, and we're going to use the blue. We won't be using any of the secondary colors, okay? Let's get started. I'm going to do it 2 times. You see I have 2 sheets of paper, but you're going to only have to do it once, whether with your paint or the crayons. So we're going to draw a really big circle, about as big as this plate. If you have a plate to trace, you can, but if not, just watch me draw a big circle. It's going to kind of look like a pizza. When I make a circle, I start at the top. I'm going pretty close to the side. It's right in the middle of that piece of paper. I'm using the smaller one if you happen to have a larger one. I'm saving that larger one for the jellyfish. So one is going to be for the paint set, and one is going to be for the crayons. It doesn't have to be totally perfect, but just a round shape. It's a wheel, right? It's called a color wheel. Okay? Do you have your circle drawn? Great. All right. We need to cut it like a pizza. So put a dot right in the middle of each circle. Just one dot. Do you see that? Okay, watch closely. I'm going to start on the edge. I'm going to make like a letter X. So I'm going to start kind of on the left side. I'm going to go to that dot. Do you see I went to the dot? And then all the way across like that. Can you do it? I'll do it again on this one. Start on the left side, go to the dot, and then just keep going all the way across. That's one side of our X. Then let's do the opposite. Go on the right, go to the dot, and then all the way across. Our wheel has how many spaces now? Mine has 4. Does yours have 4? We need 6, so we're going to need to cut this pie again. So we're going to go straight across this time, right through the middle. We're going to have 6 slices in our pizza, but it's really going to be a color wheel. Got it? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do you have 6 spaces? Awesome. So at the very, very top pizza slice, that's going to be our first primary color, right at the top. Put your finger on that space. So if you have a crayon, you're going to color that middle pizza slice yellow. You see it's right in the middle. I'm coloring the entire kind of triangle. Do you see that? All right, if you're doing it with the paint set, remember this paint has to be wet for it to work, right? So we use our brush, we put it in the water, we get a little yellow paint on it in the same pizza slice. That's the one we're going to paint yellow. Right in the middle. Do you see that? Yellow is primary. Everybody say that. Yellow is primary. Right, and when you finish painting, your brush goes back into the water. So you can see that with your crayon, it's not quite as dark, but you're going to get the point of it, right? Okay, so we're going to leave this space empty, and we're going to leave this space empty on these 2 so we can do some color mixing. So we're going to go to the next spots, right on the side. What's that second primary color we talked about? Red. Let's try red. So skip this spot, and with your crayon, color in this pie piece. remember which one. If you're doing the paint, you can watch Miss Roz. Skip that one, and then we're going to paint that one. You notice that with watercolor, the more water, the lighter it is. So I'm not going to put too much water in there. I want it to be a nice dark red. You see that? So now we have yellow, and now we have red. Those are both, what are they called? Primary, right? Okay, so in this spot, we're going to think, what do yellow and red make together? I want you to watch Miss Roz first. I'm going to do it with the paint first so you can see. So I'm going to go ahead and put the yellow down. I'm putting a lot. That means I'm painting the whole thing yellow. Oops, mixing a little bit with that red. And I'm going to put a tiny bit, a couple of dots. You see that? Not very much. And let's mix it in. Maybe one more dot. Can you see the color that's starting to happen? I may have put a little bit too much red right there. Let's see. Can you see it? Right there? It's kind of an orange. I'm going to zoom in closer so you can see. Now you can see a little better how the red on top of the yellow made a little orange. Okay? We're going to try it with our crayons next. All right, same thing with the crayons. Let's color really hard and put a lot of good yellow crayon in there. You notice I chose these without any paper on them. Those can help do some shading. Watch me. This red, I'm going to shade a little red just on this pie piece. I'm trying to mix that yellow with a little bit of red, and you can see that orange color trying to come up, and I can put a little more yellow on top. So you can tell that this is yellow, this is red, and this is orange. I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see a little better. Did everyone get to see and make the orange? Great. Okay, let's move on to our next primary color. So we've used yellow, we've used red. What do we have left? That's right, blue. So skip this space so we can do some color mixing with that. We're going to do some color mixing here, and we're going to do some color mixing right there. So color in this third pie piece with primary color blue. Now I'm going to paint. I'm going to paint blue. Make sure your brush is clean. You dip it in the water. Dip it here, and this is the one we're going to paint. I'm going to put it a little darker. And now we have blue right here. Yellow, red, and blue, or what are they called? That's right, primary. Okay? All right, we're going to see right here, what do yellow and blue make? So first, I'm going to paint some yellow here. I'm putting some yellow. A little blue's trying to sneak in there. All right, clean my brush. I'm going to put about 3 small dots of blue, not a lot. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put a little blue in there and mix it with the yellow on the paper. You can see a whole new color coming out. Can you tell what it's supposed to be? It looks a little funny. Let's see. It's kind of like an avocado, but it's green. Can you see that? I'll zoom in a little closer so you can see the green color. It's not a festive green or a grass green. It's kind of like an avocado mixing with that blue. And let's try it with the crayons. So yellow goes down first, a lot of yellow, because yellow and blue, what are they supposed to make? That's right, green. So now I'm going to shade. I have that crayon that doesn't have any paper on it, so it's easy to shade some blue in there. And you can see you're making a whole new color. Put some more yellow on top. And And you can see that avocado, kind of an army green. It's a darker green, try to come out. It's not perfect, but it's the best we can do on video. Great, so we have yellow, red, and blue are primary, and we've made orange and green, and now we're gonna mix red and blue. Red and blue. I'll try it with the crayons first. Let's color red first. Paint some red now. It's our last piece of the color wheel. Clean your brush. Now how many taps of the second color we're going to put? Just a little bit, 3 taps. 1, 2, 3. A little tap of blue and mix it in. I think this one works best of all. I can already see it. Can you? I see the purple. Yes. So it joins orange, green, and purple as the secondary color. So let's put some blue on top of here. Let's see if we can get this to work with the crayons. I'm shading some blue on top of the red. I'll put some more red on top. Yeah, I can kind of see parts of it starting to be purple. Because red and blue mixed together make purple. Now you have your very own color wheel. I'm going to blot a little bit of the extra paint off, and if you have paint, this needs to be set aside to dry so you can dry it, and then we're going to move on to making our jellyfish. So if you want to pause the video while we pick up all the color wheels and take out your next piece of paper so we can draw that rainbow jellyfish. Great. I want you to put your paper vertical, up and down, kind of like a portrait. And we're going to write our name on the back of the paper, kind of in the middle. And then turn it over to the clean side. Okay? Today we need to draw with either a black crayon or a black marker, somewhere where we can really see. Okay? I'm going to draw with a black marker so you can see. So, our jellyfish is going to be really long, so we're going to start at the very top. Can you put a dot right at the very top, in the middle, like that? We want that bell shape of the jellyfish to go right up near the top. And it's going to kind of make a rainbow. Do you see Miss Roz's finger? I'm kind of going like this, and then all those tentacles are going to go down longer, and we're going to be all different lines that we've been talking about. So we have to curve a little bit all the way kind of to this side. Do you see I went that far? And then we're going to curve all the way kind of to this side. It doesn't have to be perfect because jellyfish in real life are really an unnatural organic shape. So we have kind of a curve for the rainbow across the top. You have that? Good. Now we're going to connect this side to the other side with a wavy line. Do you remember that line? Wavy line? Yes, the wavy line. So that's the head of it. That's where all those eyes, they said they had 24 different eyes. So let's make some circles or little ovals all around here. Kind of show some textures. And we can do some lines, some dash lines, some spots, some dots. So add a few things of texture to show all the different things that the jellyfish has on their body. Remember they had eyes all the way around. They could see 360 degrees. Got that? Now we're going to make those tentacles, and I want those tentacles to come all the way down to the bottom. Okay? So watch me first, all right? I'm going to go to the left side, and I'm going to come in just a little bit. Maybe about to right here, and I'm going to start, but then I'm going to go down all the way to the corner. Do you know what the corner is? That's the corner right there. Okay, so come in a little bit and then draw a line all the way till you get to the corner. Got that? Great. Now do the second side. Go in just a little bit, and where are we heading? That's right, all the way to the other corner. Great. My jellyfish is going to have some long tentacles. All right, so this is the fun part. We're going to remember those lines that we've been studying about in art. Watch me first. The first one I'm going to do is a zigzag. So Roz is kind of making a big zigzag. Notice I'm not going tiny like that because that's going to be too hard to cut. I'm going to make some big zigzags like this. All the way till I get to the bottom. Straight down all the way till I get to the bottom like that. A zigzag line. Kind of looks like little mountains on their sides. Can you do the zigzag? Great. That's kind of close to the left side. Let's think of another line. Do you remember curve line? Yes, so I'll leave a little bit of space so that tentacle can be right here. So we have one tentacle, two tentacles, and then right next to this, remember curve line? This one kind of looks like letter C. Yeah, I'm curving all the way down until I get to the bottom. Great. What about wavy line? Do you remember that line? Kind of make some big waves so the tentacles can be curving. So far I have 3 lines in the middle. Do you? I have the lines on the end, and then I have zigzagged, curved, and wavy. Here's where I have room for another one. How about loop-de-loop? Can you do that one? I'm making a loop. Loop, loop. Kind of like I'm about to make a circle, but then I turn around and go back the other way. All the way down until I get to the bottom. If you still have a little bit more space and you want to think of a different line, you can do that as well. All right, now we're going to talk about those rainbow colors that we've been talking about. I don't know what you want to color your rainbow. I might start out with some purple. Some cool colors. Hey, what about some cool colors? You can color any color you want. I might start with some purple. I might mix in some blue. So let's just color the top part of his head first. What's that other cool color? We're reviewing the things that we've learned this year. Green. Grass is cool. So blue, purple, and green. And you can color it any way you want. If purple's your favorite, you can use mostly purple. I might put a little more purple, kind of making a pattern. Great. All right, so we're going to do that rainbow. Who remembers the first color of the rainbow? We said it was a man's name, Roy G. Biv. I'm adding some colors and filling in all my white things. So red, R for red. All right, so the first one, I'm going to color this red. Is red primary or secondary? That's right, it's primary. Don't forget to color in between those zigzags and those triangles. Zigzag is one of my favorite lines to make. It's one of the lines we've been learning about all school year in art. When you're ready, you can go to the next tentacle. What was it? Roy. It's an O. O stands for, that's right, orange. Quickly shade some orange down. And then yellow. Yellow was a pretty important color. We used it when we mixed red and yellow to make orange. We used it when we mixed blue and yellow, and what did that make? It made that funny green. Sometimes when you use different color paints, it makes different shades of the color. So it all depends on that. That's why science and art are very closely related. Rainbows are all about the weather, right? And after the rain, the rainbow comes out. Well, that's because light splits into many colors, just like in art. I have a couple of more tentacles to color. Not sure what color. Now we're going to cut these tentacles out. It's going to be kind of tricky. It's going to be some good cutting practice for you getting ready to go to 2nd grade. So keep coloring until all of your tentacles are colored. You can leave this side blank white and this side blank white. Right? If your teacher needs to push pause so everybody can catch up, now would be a good time. Join me back with your scissors. Y'all ready to go on? All right, we're going to cut this big jellyfish out. I'm starting at the bottom. Do you notice how my scissors, my thumb is in the little hole, my fingers are in the big hole, and I'm chomping. And I'm moving this hand right here. I'm moving it close to wherever I'm cutting with my scissors. So if my scissors are right here, I've moved my hand closer to where they are. So if you're cutting up here, your hands shouldn't be way down here. They should be closer so you can hold the paper. You might want to go to the other side and cut that too first. Lines to cut. Scissors like to eat lines for lunch. Did y'all know that? That's what they eat for breakfast. Now if you want to go to cut that top off, you go around right here, this curve. Could you have made those colors for me today? You sure could have, because you learned how to mix red and yellow to make orange, and you learned how to mix blue and yellow to make green. All right, now this is the tricky part. We are going to cut this zigzag line out. Do you see how I start with my scissors and I move them backwards and forward so you can see? I turn my scissors this way. When I get to the end of the line, I stop. So take your time. Remember what I said about moving up your hand as you cut. Go slow and stay on the line, okay? This is how your hand muscles get strong. I tell my students when they're in PE, all their big muscles are worked. When they're running and playing, their leg muscles are worked. But in art, your hand muscles are worked from cutting. Now this one might be a little more tricky, so you can get close as you can, but I want it to look curved. I want to see if you can go around that heel of the curve every time you cut. Each time. Start back here. I'm moving my hand up as I cut. You see that? Moving my hand up. Moving my hand up each time, and I stop when I get to the top, like that. Wavy lines are fun to cut. They're kind of like a long snake. So I'm turning my scissors, my wrist, my hands, and cutting this out. Staying on the black line. So keep cutting. You don't have to rush. Just take your time until we all have these cut out. This one, you can just cut close to the loops on this side. You don't have to cut the loop part. I'm giving you a little break right there. You can hang it up like this, but we're going to make it, we're going to fold each piece. Okay? So stop what you're doing and watch me. Stop what you're doing. Put your scissors down and just watch for right now. So when you get to this point, you can do it. So you're going to take each tentacle and go all the way up to the top. Hold this one down and fold it up like this, okay? And I'm going to put my finger down and fold it backwards and press again. Put my finger down and then fold it backwards. This is called an accordion pleat. So when you get closer, you don't have to put your finger down anymore. Do you see how Miss Roz is doing this? It's going to be a zigzag, and each time you have to press and fold so it'll stay down. Now watch what it does. Once you finish all of that, you can see it'll spring back. Okay, watch me again. Fold it back. Put your finger down, press. So you got it? Okay, go back to where you are on cutting, or if you're at folding, fold with me. So till all 5 of our tentacles are folded. I'm on number 3. How many more do I have to go? 2. 3 plus 2 is what? I'm glad you joined me today to learn more about the color wheel and jellyfish. I think these will look cool hanging up in your classroom. Now you know what the primary colors are and how you can use those 3 colors to make lots of other colors. I enjoyed teaching you this year as we learned all about lines, shapes, textures. We talked about warm and cool colors, our color wheel. We learned about different artists and their work. I want you to enjoy the rest of your school year and keep making art all summer long. I hope to see you all soon.